Mike Sullivan along with you, Ron Nimi. 911 Incorporated versus the Rastaman. We saw how Mike Sullivan turned on Rastaman during that match with Fidel Sierra. And here comes the very popular Rastaman right now.
Rastaman and Mike Sullivan have got a 4-year history here in IPW Hardcore Wrestling. They both are former IPW heavyweight champions.
Multiple times.
They both toured the world as some of the best independent.
There's some Rastaman fans dancing to the music there, Ron, as you got into a little bit later.
No, see, you can't sell my great dancing. That's something that's a treat for the fans at the end of the night. You got to put over these kids that come and support IPW Hardcore Wrestling, the Rastaman, and
look at Shannon Rose with the contact high.
Look at Shannon Rose. Look at the mullet. He's supposed to be refereeing this match, and he's in there hitting the small funny.
Well, he's celebrating because of his part that was in the Don Juan DeSanto encounter we saw last week. And here's Ron Nimi. And Ron, I haven't seen you that lit up since the Lacanto days.
I've been shotgunned.
Yes, you have, and you couldn't be happier right now. No wonder you agreed to this teaming.
And you see me busting it.
It's about to come out of AJ Styles.
Come on.
But on to just down of the minute. Okay?
Big mistakes.
Your reputation.
The year contender, Mike Sullivan, who has a victory over AJ Styles. Recap fans, Mike Sullivan was supposed to be hurled against IPW and Imprint is cool, but you do not tear down the boy.
67, 78, come down playing student at the Plex. You will some type of point in there. All I see is thing he can ever do, and that's upset the roster.
Oh, beautiful suplex there by Mike Sullivan. And you expect that out of AJ Styles. You don't necessarily normally see that kind of display out of Mike Sullivan. But one thing you can say about Mike Sullivan, when he's in there with the better competition, he always raises his game just a little bit. That's the sign of a true professional. And besides Mike Sullivan, you've got Rastaman, AJ Styles, and Jimmy Rave, four of the top independent wrestlers in the country. I hate to admit it, but Jimmy Rave even split a series of matches with our own Naftali. AJ Styles has beaten Scoot Andrews and taken Billy Fives to the limit, taken Mike Sullivan to the limit, and these four guys are about to tear each other apart right here.
Now Jimmy Rave, he does. Oh my God! This kid doesn't know what he's in there with. He doesn't know.
Look at the power of Rastaman. AJ Styles is not that small of a guy, but he is dwarfed in there by this guy like a sack of potatoes.
He does, and he kicks Jimmy Rave right upside the head and picks him up by the neck and basically chokes the life out of him off a Samoan style. Now Jimmy Rave was in a war with Naftali here in IPW. Many times they faced off. We happen to have Naftali here this week. Is it true, Naftali? Is it true that this guy has the talent, the ability, and the uncanny knowledge that they claim he does?
Yes, he does.
Thank you, Naftali. Back to you, Aaron.
Beautiful commentary by Naftali there as always. And before you even start, Ron, you never beat Naftali.
I beat him 3 times on the circuit before IPW even got going.
Flea markets don't count.
Look at the brutal chops administered by Mike Sullivan.
And look at you on the outside of the ring. You can't stand it.
I'm feeling them. I'm registering those chops up there. These guys, if they're not going to sell it, I'm going to. Mike Sullivan, he has got one of the most vicious chops. Look at him.
Oh, and look at that by AJ Styles. What is that, Ron?
That stops the chops really quick. That's an inverted face driver.
I tell you what, Mike Sullivan, his chops been compared to Chris Benoit, Ric Flair. I tell you, we have a lot of guys that can chop and take it to you here. AJ Styles is one of them, but nobody lays it into your chest like Mike Sullivan.
The chestal cavity goes home bruised and bloody.
Oh!
Beautiful drop kick.
That is an absolutely beautiful drop kick. Reminiscent of old rocker days there.
Now, AJ Styles just debuted for the World Wrestling Federation a few short weeks ago. He did an incredible job for the WWF. He had a great match with Hurricane and took him to the limit. The fans at WWF are demanding AJ Styles, and I'm here to tell you, they're going to have to pull him, yank him, and be like pulling teeth. Look at that drop kick to the head.
Double low drop kick right to his face there, and Mike Sullivan is hurting.
He's got to be hurting, man. Mike Sullivan is one of the toughest wrestlers that I've ever encountered in IPW. Sure, he's a pretty boy. Look at that.
But you're never going to get a cover on anybody, much less a guy the caliber of Mike Sullivan. Nice bridge out in reversal there, and it looks like he's going to go into a backslide there, and Jimmy Rave, but no, Jimmy Rave comes out. Oh, low blow. And what's AJ? Oh my gosh!
You're exactly right, Aaron. This is only the first 5 minutes of this match. It is quality to be match of the year contender, and you see Rastaman drop a double axe handle right across the back of Jimmy Rave.
This isn't only IPW or Wildside match of the year contender. This is the whole independent scene match of the year contender right here. And anybody who knows about the independent scene around the country knows these four guys. And I'm sure just hearing about these four guys in the ring has them salivating. And once they see it and see that they lived up to every bit of it, they're going to be that much more impressed. I wish we could show you the whole match here on TV, but truth of the matter is, it went over half an hour. We couldn't show you the whole match here if we wanted to, but what we can show you is Mike Sullivan taking those kicks to the face and now having his head worked over there by AJ Styles.
If somebody wants to see this entire match in its entirety, all they got to do is go to IPW-hardcore.com and go to the store page on that site. You can buy the entire match in its entirety, and you see AJ Styles trying to block the tag from Mike Sullivan, and there's the tag right there.
There's the old school angle right there again. Rastaman getting the tag in, but Richie Rich the Mullet is going to say, I didn't see that tag. I had a little small funny on the brain. You got to go back in the corner.
Rastaman's only got himself to blame for the Mullet missing the tag and not knowing what's going on. He's in another dimension now. He's in Rastaville, brother.
Yes, he is. Rastaland, whatever you want to call it. As you were there in the outside of the ring, you're not even making your presence felt in this match, which is quite unusual, Nemi.
On February 23rd at IPW Reborn, AJ Styles is currently in negotiations to sign a three-way dance for the IPW heavyweight title against Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews in a three-way dance.
Look at the power of Mike Sullivan right there as he's just pushing Jimmy Rave back into the corner, but once again, it looks like the tag is going to be missed by the Mullet.
This is like watching the Rockers versus Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers back in AWA's days.
It's nothing like that, Ron.
You're exactly right, Aaron.
This match is actually very, very good.
Oh, I hope Marty Jannetty's not watching at home.
Actually, that match was good for its day, but it was AWA, and as we've said in the past, that can't hold a candle to what we've always had down here in Florida. It can't hold a candle to what we got going on right now in IPW, and what we almost had going on was Mike Sullivan going under to AJ Styles.
Now, you think of the talent level of groups like NWA Wildside and IPW. These guys aren't even the NWA
Finally gets the tag to Rastaman.
There it is, the hot tag, and he's beating him with huge meat hooks, laying him out. Jimmy Rave, this guy's just, look at the power in the huge press slam on AJ Styles, and then Jimmy Rave gets,
oh my God, what did he do there?
Was I the one that's usually preaching safety in IPW? Everything I said about it, throw it out the window, Aaron.
There you go. You see, at the same time that Jimmy Rave was getting thrown around like he weighed about $102 by Rastaman, Mike Sullivan and AJ Styles go to the outside of the ring, and there's a big blockbuster maneuver by Rastaman. This could be it, Ron. 1, 2. Oh, but no, AJ Styles just gets in and makes the save. And Ron, have we ever had on TV before 3 former IPW heavyweight champions in the ring all at the same time?
I believe this is a first, and these guys don't care if there's no gold on the line. They don't care if there's no so-called glory or the big, huge payoff.
Right. What's he do? Oh, this is his maneuver. You would think after all these weeks we would figure out what he calls it, but it's a crab-type maneuver, and he just drops him right on his face.
Styles Clash, Aaron. Get it straight.
The Styles Clash. Okay, that makes sense. And what also makes sense there is Richie Rich knew Rastaman was about to come in and break up that move, so he didn't even try to make the 3 count.
You would think this is the best tag team offering that we could possibly offer here in IPW. But on the 23rd of February, Quickie Martin versus York and Matthews for the Florida Unified Tag Team titles. It doesn't get any better than that. But you know what? They got a hell of a match atop right now in the ring.
Yes, they do. York and Matthews coming in, one of the top independent tag teams in the country, formerly of ECW. And Quickie Mart, once again, is going to have a brutal, brutal challenge. I wonder... Oh! Look at that. He gives a hurricanrana to his own guy. You'd think maybe he could have stopped, but he had such momentum going. He just took him right over there, and this could be the beginning of the end for Wildside.
Now, was that a mistake, or was it a little bit of professional jealousy? Did Jimmy Rave do it by accident? Did he do it by purpose?
All right, Ron. What do we got going right here?
Oh my God, huge loss to champ. Wow. 1, 2, 3.
That's it, Ron. NWA Wildside, you came in for the ultimate challenge. Guess what? IPW set you back, just like everybody knew we would.
NWA Wildside's heavyweight champion, AJ Styles, just pinned right in the middle of the ring by Rastaman. 1, 2, 3, and I am absolutely loving it with my friend.
Look at you hugging our Rastaman. I think that small funny's still affecting you. You can barely see Ron Nemi, and someone please tell me we're going to get to see you dance.
No, I actually like Rastaman. All the things that's happening for the past 4 years, everything I've said bad about him, everything dirty I've done about it, forget it. Me and
There you go, dancing, Ron, and I hate to interrupt you, but that was a great match. We've got to go to our closing. Fans, we'll be back next week.